It's trading time, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Now that we're halfway through the season at the GWA, we have thus gotten to the second grace period, the only time we can change our teams during the season. This means anyone can make as many trades as they wish, yours truly making a few included. But before we get into the trades, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this season of the GWA Pokemon Draft League and don't want to miss out on any further videos. However, with the trades, that also means some poor comrades must in fact be dropped, and who better to start us off than our good pal Terra Colossal. It's so sad to see him go so soon, especially after his great showing in Week 2, being able to OHKO an AV Tornadus. However, he takes up a lot of Terra use, and with Arboliva coming to just about every week and being better in almost every way, I sadly had no room to fit him on the team. The next poor soul to get dropped by their father is actually a surprising one, and that would be Sylveon. Sylveon really has done a wonderful job on the team so far, saving me against Harvey, being able to roar out his setup Terapagos, and offering me a great wish support every single week that it has come. But with some of the other trades my opponents have made, which I actually have been eyeing for some time now, Sylveon no longer fits on the team. So despite its great showings, I cannot keep the goodest of they-thems on the team. The next two drops really shouldn't surprise many, and they would be Revavroom and Drifblim. Starting off with Revavroom, it genuinely did a decent enough job when it's come, though sadly its wide array of weaknesses really dampened a lot of the impact that I needed it to do, because if I really wanted a defensive poison type, I would just use Terra Arboliva, and if I wanted an offensive mon, well, my team is no lacking in offense, let's just say. So despite its fair showings, it sadly does not make the final cut of the team. And now for the Blimpy boy, truly I wanted him to work. But it has all the same kinds of issues that I had Revavroom, if not more. Its offenses were lacking when I thought I could use it offensively, its defenses were never enough for what I wanted, and while its utility is great, it never was able to beat out the utility of other members on the team. So despite never showing off the bench, I sadly have decided to drop it. But enough of that sappy crap, let's take a look at some of the new toys I picked up. I mentioned before that Sylveon no longer fit on the squad after a particular Pokemon was dropped, and as well as Colossal never being able to justify coming as a Terra Cap with Arboliva around, so I am proud to introduce my new Terra Captain, Diancie. Diancie, I would argue, is a top 10 Terra Captain for its price range, being able to Terra Fairy, Fighting, and Water. I'm able to both give myself stab on a lot of coverage moves, alongside being able to become one of the best defensive typings in the game, with some of the most unbreakable defensive stats to pair. This goes alongside its amazing coverage and utility move pool, making Diancie a well-worthy add to the squad. Next up, with dropping both Colossal and Drifblim, I was really eyeing up a strong fire type, ideally one that was unafraid of ground types. Thus, I had no issues slotting Moltres on the team. Moltres gives my team both a significantly better fire type as well as a flying type, with both an amazing offensive and defensive profile, something I put a lot of value in a Pokemon. Moltres will find a vital role that neither Drifblim or Cole could truly find on the squad, and I am so looking forward to using it. Now it's time to settle on some low tier options. After dropping Revavroom, I would really like a poison type to be able to get rid of T-Spike, but I also still didn't have the best matchup into ground types. So of course Weezing was an amazing fit for the squad, with both being able to run either Nuke Gas on weeks I'm afraid of T-Spike, alongside Levitate on weeks I'm afraid of grounds. Weezing adds a significant amount of depth to the team. This alongside a stellar defensive profile to take off some of the weight of Arboliva on weeks it doesn't want to Terra Poison, and being able to set up T-Spike of my own, Weezing will surely fill a vital role in the coming weeks. Finally, with only a mere 7 points remaining, I have a pretty glaring speed gap between 90 and 70, which I thought was fairly unideal. Pairing this alongside my lack of fighting type, which to be frank, the 7-point tier has a surplus of. For my pick of the litter though, I thought that Passimian could put in some major work. While I must agree, Passimian is no Godslayer, it has some very good qualities. Of course, its 120 base attack means it's no slouch in terms of damage, and it's surprisingly bulky with base 100 HP and some more middle of the road defenses. Slap an AV on that boy and he's taking hits for days. And for that 80 base speed, while it's not insane, it does make a prime candidate for a Choice Scarf set, which I will admit the team was severely lacking in mons that actually enjoy being Scarf. And finally, to cap off the mid-season grace period, I needed to switch around some Terra types, as we can only run one Terra type on each of our mons. So that means our Balava has to drop its Fairy typing so Diancie may use it. As a replacement, I decided to throw on Terra Ghost, as I don't have a Ghost type currently, and it still performs the role as a solid fighting type switch-in that the Fairy typing was used as before. I hope you all enjoyed this little video. Again, apologies for the lack of week 4 video. Your regularly scheduled programming shall return next week Friday.